Welcome to 50 States of Madness.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing really great. Well, you know what? I went through a little bit of a sickness. Can everybody tell? I couldn't eat for about a week. But you know what, girl? I can lose 50 pounds and people still won't notice, but that's okay. I feel great. No.
But do you?
Yeah, no, actually I feel good. I just don't have an appetite. I don't know what it is. It's really
but that's
bizarre.
not good.
I know it's not. No. Not, all jokes aside,
There's something wrong.
obviously, because I love food and I'm really hungry all the time. But yeah, no, I don't have much of an appetite. I think it's menopause. Oh God, everybody's going to know my age out there. No. Yeah, probably menopause. I don't know what it is, but it just, yeah, all that. I took some supplement, Estroven. Don't do it. That thing practically killed me.
Up.
I got really sick from it. And then, so if anybody else out there has had that experience with Estroven, please share. It's got it's not estrogen. It's like that supplement, Estroven. And
there's not actually hormones in it.
It has black cohosh in it. And so after I started reading stuff on it, I guess it gives a lot of people stomach issues.
Yeah.
And so it just made me really nauseous, cramping. I couldn't keep anything down. It was really bad. But at first I was kind of like, because it was like the symptoms were a little bit mild, and I'm like, well, okay, weight loss pill. And so I'm like, this is good. I won't stop taking it, until I reach
you
my
were like
weight.
hell bent on not stopping it.
Well, because it stopped my night sweats. I'm going to say it did. My hot flashes stopped. The day that my hot flashes, when I woke up and said I did not have a hot flash that whole night, that's when the symptoms started. Like I started getting the nausea, the cramping, worst period, body aches. I felt like I was coming down with like the worst flu ever, but I never got a cough, fever, no runny nose, no nothing. It was just straight just from that. Because the minute by that Friday, I was doubled over in pain. And so if anybody's ever has any of that experience,
let us know.
Yeah, but I was really happy not to have the hot flashes. But I have to say they haven't come back full force either, like they were before I started taking it. Yeah, I'll just go back on the Primrose. Yeah, I'll just go back to that. That one didn't give me any side effects. Yeah. But anyways, how are you doing? How's everything with you?
I'm good.
We're always catching up on my health issues. I laugh with Kim because we always talk about these things that at a certain age, if you're young listening to this, this is going to be you eventually. When you hit a certain age, all you do is talk about your ailments. Yeah. How are you doing? Oh, yeah, I was really sick.
Don't ever ask how are you. Yeah, that's probably the wrong thing. We should ask each other. How are you feeling?
How are you doing?
How are you doing? Yeah, those shouldn't be things we should be asking.
Maybe it should be something more like where you can get an answer like, hey, Gina.
Did you wake up this morning? I did.
No, more like, what was the score of your bowling? Or like, what did you do for bowling? Or something more specific, where we want something happy. But yeah. Because if you ask how we're doing, you'll hear about our arthritis, our hips going out. Something. It's so sad.
It's something.
And I'm actually really interested in that stuff, though.
I started doing Zumba.
You were telling me.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you really? Mm-hmm. Oh, you want me to take it with you, right? I heard that's the best time you have in class is when I'm taking Zumba with you.
I do it in my room.
Oh.
I do it here at home. But no. Shannon and I, many moons ago, like 20 years ago probably, used to go to the gym together.
Yes.
And it did me no good. It was like a waste of my money because I couldn't work out with her.
I'm a really good workout partner.
She's not. It's like a comedy show at the gym. You can't concentrate. You can't do anything because all I was focusing on was her and her trying
how
to
professional I am
get
at
like
Zumba.
Whatever step we were doing. Like it was just, you guys can only imagine. I mean, you guys have seen her TikToks and you got a little taste of it. So now then, fast forward all these years and her and my son go to the gym together. So my son gets to deal with it. So
well, we have
so there's that.
I know, and I haven't seen him since I started going back, but okay. Truth be told, since I went back that one day, I didn't catch him there.
You've only gone.
I've only gone one time.
Oh,
I gotta go back into it. I gotta get back into it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, And then we tried to take a yoga class together, but the instructor kicked us out.
Yeah, that didn't work too well.
People take their yoga way too seriously.
You know, they do, and I get it that it's supposed to be like very relaxing, and like Dickless teaches yoga, so maybe we need to take a yoga class with her or something, or have her break it down, because we were trying to take a yoga class and she kept telling me to put my head down. But I didn't know what move or whatever she was doing. So I had to look at her and I couldn't have my head down. So,
and then we were just giggling too much.
Just got to be too much. And we were politely asked to leave.
So
we did.
So
that's why I work out at home now. Or I just go to the track and exercise at the track.
Just do it here.
Yeah, because nobody can tell me to leave.
Oh, and then, okay, just real quick too, because I know people are going to say, you guys just mumble way too long. But this is, by the way, this is a shoot the shit episode. So if you don't like our shoot the shit episodes,
just keep moving on.
Yeah, but we, I was talking to a girl that I work with, and she was in the hospital after a workout, her and her sister. So I thought that maybe the gym, or it was a CrossFit class that they both took, and they're young, they're like half our age, and they took this CrossFit class, and the next day she has the regular muscle soreness that you have, and maybe some of you are going to know what this is called, because I don't even know how to pronounce it. I think the nickname for it is like Rado or something, or Rado, but it's got a really long name, and if somebody knows it, please write it in the comments. But she got a lot of muscle soreness. And so the next day she went to work and she was feeling really sick, could barely move, which half the time I get that too. I was
going to say, that's how I feel on a good day.
Every time I'm working.
Yeah.
But she said she said, you know, she's in fit and she's an athlete and everything. She said by the time she got to the car, she literally had to carry her leg.
Oh my God.
And lift it into the car.
Her and her sister?
And it turns out that her sister was getting the same symptoms too around the same time. And they ended up both having to spend like 3-4 days in the hospital with IVs all in them. Apparently a protein that your body releases when you work out super hard can over mass produce. And if you're a little dehydrated, which I'm probably 90% of the time dehydrated, because Gina gets on me.
I don't think I have that problem.
You don't have that problem. But I guess your body can't get rid of it. I guess maybe it overproduces it.
Okay.
But because that's what causes your like regular muscle soreness. But if it does too much, she had like, and I'm going to say these numbers wrong, but I'm going to say, and I know for a fact it's a double-digit number. It's like either 26, 60 or whatever, when they take your kidney levels and in your body and liver levels. And they were like in the thousands. I'm going to say like 36,000, 3,300, maybe something, I don't know, something ridiculously high in the thousands.
Oh my God.
It went from a double-digit number that it's supposed to have to the thousands. So be careful out there. Working out kills you. And I just wanted to put that out there. So just don't work out.
Just lay in your bed and order pizza and eat bonbons.
You know what?
Okay.
You're going to live longer.
But make sure that you drink water and you're hydrated. And that's all that matters, right?
Well,
just make sure you're hydrated.
But she said that they felt like they drink water. They're not like me. They said she felt like she was drinking water. It was just, but you get it if you overexert yourself in like a really super high intensity way. And a lot of people
I don't think I ever work out that hard.
Every single time I step in a fucking gym, that's me. I'm working out really hard. Like I can walk up to the gym and I'd be like, but
I mean, I don't really push myself. Like when I'm tired, I slow down. I, modify it like to.
I do that orange. I was doing that orange theory, and I literally would be walking out of there sweating, and then you don't cool down afterwards properly.
Sweat. Yeah, no, I do. Like I'm working out. Like my heart rate's up there, and like I'm, I'm working out, but I don't feel like I'm pushing myself to like
do that. Yeah,
a level where I.
But like those CrossFits, they like roll
that's
tires
crazy. I'm over here doing salsa dancing with Jose on YouTube. So no, I don't think I.
So if anybody knows the name of that, please write it in the comments, because I want it written down, because I want to look it up. But yeah, so
interesting. Well, hopefully they're okay.
No, she came back to work and everything, but I just was really surprised by that.
Wow.
So be careful when you work out. Yeah. Make sure you're hydrated. Tip of the day. Yep, that's the end of our episode. Thank you for joining us. No, just kidding. So today we're going to do a shoot the shit. They don't even, well, I guess by the title, they'll know what it's about.
Yeah.
So hang in there.
That's probably why you clicked on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we're getting
maybe
to it.
Maybe we'll put a little thing at the, at the top, like if you want to just fast forward to where we start talking.
That's a good idea.
Start at whatever.
You're so smart.
We'll figure it out. Start
So,
here.
yeah.
So today we're going to do a shoot the shit on a case that has been highly requested that a lot of people have asked us to do. We're going to talk about Caylee Anthony.
Yeah.
And sorry if I'm nasally, like I've been like this for like 5 days.
A lot of allergies in the air.
Yeah. But I've kind of haven't wanted, like Shannon's been saying, let's do it. And I kind of haven't wanted to do it because I don't want to go over the whole case, because I feel like if you're watching these videos, you already know the Caylee Anthony story.
Yeah.
Even if you're not into true crime, I feel like it's just like a case that you kind of already know. So what I wanted to basically talk about was the new stuff that has come out. Yeah. Her documentary, the series that's on Peacock, and then the parents that just did the lie detector test.
Yes.
And all that business.
And I'm glad that you had me watch that, because I'm probably like 90% of the population out there. I know basically the Caylee Anthony story. I don't have all the details up in my brain, but I don't know. I didn't know or understand. I didn't follow the trial. I didn't understand why she got off.
Yeah.
I knew that she did. I knew that she was found not guilty. I didn't know what the jury saw. Mm-hmm. So it was really interesting going back, watching this Peacock. I think it came out like in 2022, 2020.
Yeah, it's pretty recent.
Yeah. And so I went back, I watched this, saw her version of things, and I kind of texted you and said, oh, if that's what the jury saw, then I can see maybe why they came back with the not guilty verdict. Because, you get that. It's just beyond a reasonable doubt, right?
Right.
So if you have that doubt, then just today I saw the parents lie detector one.
And what'd you think?
I wasn't surprised. I don't want to say I was surprised, because as I was watching the Caylee Anthony, if nobody's watched it, watch that first, please, before you listen to us, the Peacock, because you have to understand what we're talking about. But when she was talking, a lot of the times when I'm watching her, I know what she's saying to me.
Caylee Anthony or the mom?
The mom.
Okay.
No. Caylee Anthony.
Okay.
When she did hers in the Peacock version, when I was watching it, like I said, I can understand if they heard the things they heard, why they would. But to me, when I was watching it, I had a lot of, roller coaster emotions, because what she was saying was not matching her facial expressions and her body language. Yeah. Like I couldn't put the two together. Like when she was trying to sound empathetic, when she was trying to sound sad, even when she was crying, when I was watching her, it didn't match the emotion she was trying to portray. It was really weird when I was watching her.
Right.
But I can understand if that's what you hear. And because she didn't go on the stand and talk.
Right.
I think that was a smart move, because I think if they would have put her up there,
it would have been game over. It would have been
guilty.
Game over.
Yeah. But I think because her lawyers were talking for her and people who were professionally trained, I can see how the jury came to the conclusion that they came to. Because if I was just listening to it and I didn't watch it and it was something in my ears as a podcast, I would have felt absolutely sorry for her. Mm-hmm. I would have thought, oh my gosh, this woman has led a horrible, terrible life.
Right.
And her dad is guilty. Her dad had something to do with her daughter going missing.
I'm still not convinced he didn't.
And I'm going to go back to the body language of the dad in the pathological liar, in the lie detector test episode. Woo! Freudian slip, I think not. He and his body language sometimes didn't match what he was saying either.
Yeah.
But and we always say it's bullshit, these lie detectors. It's like fake magic. But they came back and said, I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to give it away, he came back and said that he was
Yeah.
telling the truth and the wife was telling the truth about the whole thing. I think he has telling the truth about some of the things. I don't know necessarily everything, but I don't necessarily.
I don't believe her story that she was asleep, because her story is basically that she fell asleep on her bed. Caylee was next to her. She woke up. Caylee wasn't there. Her dad woke her up. He was holding her. And she was soaking wet, like she had drowned in the pool or something.
Yeah, I think she said my dad asked where she was. We went looking. I went all around the house.
Yeah.
By the time I came back to the pool, because they said, did you check the pool? Well, by the time I came out back to check the pool,
He was holding her.
And she was soaking wet.
And I feel like, okay, so if that's the case, why is she found with her mouth duct tape buried in a hole with, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
To me, I've always said, once this whole theory of like that she drowned in the pool, as horrible as it is, accidents happen.
Yeah.
Kids drown all the time.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, why are we going to all this to cover it up?
Yeah. You call 911.
You call 911. Kids die all the time from drowning.
Yeah.
So to me, it just screams there was something more. It wasn't as easy as she fell in the pool and she drowned.
I would not go as far as saying he had something to do with Caylee. If he had, my belief, this is my opinion. My belief, if he had any involvement in it at all, it's to help her cover it up.
Right.
I think to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's throwing him under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he's shocked.
Right.
And that's why I think he went to the grand jury first, is to cover or talk to the grand jury, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he went to go talk to the grand jury behind her back. And that's why he's claiming she's all mad at him. If that's what happened, that I can kind of, I can see that being a storyline as to why. But in my guts of all hearts, I think she did it all alone. She got rid of the body before her parents even knew. And I really didn't think he knew anything. He might have found out after the fact, but not during the fact.
I feel like the mom helped to cover. Well, I do and I don't feel like the mom was in or maybe knew. I feel like the whole family dynamic is just...
It's weird.
It's a very weird family dynamic. And in this Peacock series, she says, and even her friends say that they've interviewed, she is a pathological liar. She has always lied. She has always lied. She was conditioned to lie because that's how she was raised. That's how her dad, she says, she had to lie. And then she goes, and we'll talk about what she accuses her dad of. But, and she admits, I'm a liar.
Yeah.
So,
but now you're a truth teller.
To me, I'm like, if you're sitting here saying that all you were conditioned to do is lie, why should we believe your story now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What makes this any different? Because if there's anything to lie about, this is it. Yeah. This is what you're going to lie about.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, I just feel like, why now? Why are we going to believe you after 10 years? You've been silent. You haven't given any interviews to the media, any interviews to anybody. And now you're going to come out.
I'm going to give you 10 million reasons why.
And I think that
I looked up how much she got paid to do this.
And I think that it's very weird that the detective on the case, she works for him now. And
the lawyer. Was it the detective or the lawyer?
It's like her whole team.
Yeah.
Have all rallied around her, and because she had no support from her family. So her whole team of people have rallied around her and got her a job and somewhere to work, and now she's working for them, and
it's all money motivated.
Yes. And you know, they interview him and he's like, well, she has never lied to me. How do you know that she hasn't lied to you?
Oh, it's money motivated.
It just doesn't, I don't know.
They've probably made so much money off her case and being the insider, like, of knowing everything.
Of
and
course.
Just book deals, documentaries,
Yeah.
like being interviewed.
Yeah.
You think she did this for free?
Yeah.
Like,
no thanks.
No.
She didn't.
No. Not at all.
But she goes on to, now when her mom and dad did their lie detector and that whole series, they claimed to have not yet watched her Peacock series.
Yes.
And so then that's when they watch it and the allegations of abuse come out.
Which they kind of already had an idea about, because I guess they were getting messages, the news. Well,
and she, that was her thing that she went to, you know, that
in the trial.
Yeah, that's her getaway, is because, you know, she said not only her dad did this to her, but her brother did too.
Yes.
And
has the brother ever spoken out about that? I was curious. I didn't even look that up.
I don't know if he has or not. I believe his name is Lee, I think.
Yeah, Lee.
But she says that her brother didn't go as far as her dad did, but there was still, you know, there was still abuse there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like those are huge things to say about somebody if you're just, you know, I don't know. Yeah. It just, none of it makes sense to me.
Well, I just want to say, if this truly happened to you and you really do believe your dad had, you saw this, your dad had something to do with it, why are you not screaming for justice for Caylee, your daughter?
Yeah.
If this truly happened, why are you coming on talking about me? I'd be coming on talking about, where is the justice for my daughter? This is what happened to me. But even during her whole documentary, it's, oh, when I'm in jail, that's when I dreamt it. And then I realized it was true. Yeah. Oh, I think he did this. Well, no, you would know. Like,
yeah,
it's her pattern of lying and trying to keep the story straight. I felt like she was trying really hard to keep her story straight.
The recorded phone calls are what got me too, when she's talking to her mom on the phone when she's in jail. And, you know, there's people saying that, you know, she's not crying, she's not this. She's like, well, what do you expect me to do? You think I'm supposed to sit here and cry every 2 seconds? Like, I have to do this and I have to do that. And again, people grieve differently. However, I don't feel like this is grieving over somebody who died of natural causes, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is different than just like somebody dying in a car accident. Like, this is a whole different
even
ball of wax here, people.
Even her 911 call.
That in itself,
so cold. Like,
just, she answered, you know, when they asked to talk, she's like, hello.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you have this whole story with the nanny and
her working at Universal, like the whole
she
thing.
Literally took the detectives walking through the hallways, waving at people to an office.
Could you imagine somebody just walking through your office and waving, and you're just like, hey,
who are you?
Who are you?
You don't know who you are. No. You got these detectives behind you. So of course you're not going to stop them. You're thinking, okay, they must be doing something here. I would probably just be thinking the same thing. Oh, hey, how's it going, guys?
And her dad, you know, like her dad went through a lot. And that's another reason why I feel like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I just feel like the whole family dynamic is very, very off. And, you know, the dad tried to commit suicide after this happened. And then he was just recently in a horrific car accident.
Yeah. Like 5 years ago, but.
And, you know, like a while after this happened. And he's had some issues with this. I feel like the mom and the dad just need to get a divorce and be done. Yeah. They just need to get a divorce, do what they have to do, live in separate homes, because that in itself, if they're in the same house together, that's a dangerous situation.
Yeah, if you see the dynamic between the parents, they're in a very toxic relationship.
It's just dangerous. Like, it is just dangerous.
They love and hate each other at the exact same time.
Oh my God, you know?
I think they love each other out of convenience and because they've been together so long, but they really despise each other.
If I had to live in a home with somebody or be married to somebody like that I didn't get, like, I know. I'm sorry.
Both of them are
no wonder
very, very
the mom's
toxic.
falling apart, having a panic attack at the foot of the bed, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I feel like none of this stuff has been worked through, like, in therapy. Like, everything is still surface level for them.
And it's been 20 years. Like, about 15, because Caylee would be 20 years old, 2021 by now.
Yeah. And it's just like, they need to.
Yeah, because she was born 2 years after. What, 2 years after Nathan, or 4 years? She was born 2004, right?
Yes,
I think 2 years after Nathan. Yeah, so I'm like, 20 years old right now. So
I'm not. I don't know. I definitely. I think she did it. I really absolutely do think she did it, and I know that there's some people out there that believe that she's innocent, and that's fine. You can, I mean, by all means, you can have your opinion.
I know people who, you know, like her best friend, of course, and stuff. If you had done something like this, of course I'd rally behind you. Like, oh my goodness, the Gina I know would never do this to her kid.
And that's basically what everybody said, is this is not, like, she was happy. She was a great mother. You know, this is not something we would think that she would ever do.
And it goes back to thinking that maybe overall it might have been where it was an accident, in a fit, let's say in a fit of rage. I don't think it was anything planned. I don't think it was something that was like thought out and said, I'm going to kill my daughter today and bury her and get rid of her body so I can go out and party. It could have been something like, truthfully, like, she might have drowned in the pool, or she might have accidentally been smothered and, like, sleeping next to her, because she does say that she sleeps right next to her. She got pillows on this side of her. Yeah, she sleeps on this side between the wall.
They've also said that they think that she might have given her, like, Benadryl or something like that, and just given her too much.
So even if that's the case, it's just the way her behavior afterwards. And everything she did,
those behavior in those 31 days.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That in itself speaks. It says everything.
And I get the friends saying, like, oh, some of those pictures they brought up were like, you know, her 21st birthday had nothing to do within those 31 days. But you get a sense of the type of person she was outside of being a mother, which people are allowed to do. I'm going to say, if you're young, you're allowed to do that.
Even if you're not young.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're having a baby at 15 years old or 50 years old. If it's hard to be a stay-at-home mom. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Regardless if you work or if you stay at home, you need you time.
Yes.
Especially if you're a stay-at-home mom. You need you time. So we're not saying, like, that she didn't deserve to go out and party and have fun and all of that. I don't think she deserved to do that with her daughter missing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's other
if your daughter's home safe, or at the babysitter or wherever, party on, girl. But if your daughter's missing, and then, you know, they ask her about her tattoo, and she says that was a big fuck you to my parents.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't even make any sense to me.
Yeah, the Bella Vita.
That just doesn't make that just doesn't even make any sense to me.
Yeah.
That's just making you look dumb.
Yeah. Well, at that point, we already know 100%. I already believe 100%. My opinion again. She knew her daughter wasn't alive during that whole search and stuff.
Absolutely.
Because, she knew. She was partying.
Because if you're out there, why aren't you looking for her?
Yeah. If you thought your daughter was legit missing, she knew she wasn't missing because she made up the babysitter shit. She takes them to an apartment where the babysitter supposedly lives, but it's really
the friend's house,
her friend's house,
old apartment. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So,
and that's how she says that she, like, I think that's how she justifies it in her head. She said, there's a little bit of truth. There's a sliver of truth in everything that I say.
Yeah. But she knows she does this.
Yes.
And so that whole entire interview, how are we taking you for face value?
Yes. If you're sitting here in the next breath saying, all I do is lie.
Yeah.
And I've done it. I was conditioned to do that.
Yeah.
And that's all I've ever done. So, I mean, and for her friends, even her friends, the ones that are saying she was a good person, she was a great mother, but she was a liar.
Yeah.
And some people are just compulsive liars. They even lie about things that they don't have to lie about.
She lied about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of kids go through that. I used to always laugh at my kids because sometimes I'd look at them and say, like, literally, why are you lying? Like, this is like so stupid. Like, why is this something you'll lie about? Because I think everybody kind of pushes those boundaries, go through those phases where, you know, little white lies here or there, you just kind of spin the truth. But with her, it was constant. And that was, she, if that's what you're known for. Mm-hmm. And then you come on. But my whole thing too is like, what do you have to lose by telling the truth now?
Exactly. She can't be tried again.
She can't be tried again. She was already found innocent. It wasn't like it was a hung jury and they have the right to try her again. She's literally found not guilty.
Yeah.
No double jeopardy. She can write a tell-all book and let everybody know what happened because she is the only one.
Yeah. She'd be like exactly OJ, like happened. if I did it.
Yeah. If I did it.
Know, she can.
Exactly. If I did it, this is what would have happened.
And the way that Caylee was found, like with the blanket or the sheet from the crib, like the duct tape from the house, like they literally found the same roll of duct tape in the family's garage.
Oh yeah. She died in that home and her body was moved. And I think by Casey, I really, really do. My opinion is I don't believe the mom knew anything about it just by her actions afterwards. And she always seemed to me like she was always in the dark. Like she just was kind of like, I feel like you said, like the dad might have known something a little bit after something. I always felt like he was always looking like he was hiding something a little bit. Like,
yes,
there was something going on there, but the mom always seemed to me like she was generally always looking for an answer. But to me, Casey, not looking for an answer at all. Even during that whole entire interview, like I said it before, if something happened to my kids and I knew who was responsible for it, I'd want justice. Like, why are they not?
Oh, yeah.
Go after him. This is what he did. Here, I'm laying it out for you. I would have been telling that story from the beginning, but I understand her whole thing, trauma or whatever, and afraid of her dad. And that's just, you know, all those kooky wookie psychiatrists going on there justifying why she behaves like she does and trying to make it seem like it's the truth and things like that.
I wonder how much they were paid.
Yeah. I mean, they can write books afterwards on it and make millions of dollars. Yeah. And don't pay me anything. Yeah. So just let me be part of your inner circle and hear everything, you know, and tell the story. But I just wish she would just come out and tell the truth because you can't be tried again, girl. Yeah. Just come out and tell the truth.
No, now. But I feel like she gets recognized a lot in public, I'm sure.
Oh, she'll no.
Could you imagine if she came out and said, you know what? I killed her.
That is true. People would be after her.
She'd be off in a hot second.
That is so true. She's going to go down with that sinking ship.
Oh, for sure.
So,
yeah. And
trying to toss the blame because she wants to live a normal life at this point. Maybe
of course
that's what
she does.
Yeah. 10 years later, she figures, okay, that's enough money. I mean, imagine getting that lump sum of money, start a whole brand new life somewhere. And if people don't think you did it, now at this point you can live freely.
I know that there are a handful of people that do believe she's innocent. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many, but I'm sure there are people out there that but I can't get behind it. There's just too much that happened. And then when she came, I think that just to hear her talk and reminisce and like look at the photos and look at this and this is the last picture I took of her and this is this and this is that and
there's no emotion in her words.
And it's hard to feel sorry for her.
There's none. Like I said, if you were listening to it on a podcast and didn't watch it,
yeah,
I would totally be feeling sorry for her.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh my goodness, this poor girl. Because you can hear the emotion, like the acting,
Yeah.
you can hear it, but you can even feel it. But the minute you look up at her body language and
it's not there.
The certain facial expressions you'll make when you're feeling certain ways, it's just not there. It's like just pump her full of a whole thing of Botox and just
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I'm so sad. And then my dad raped me, and it didn't match. And I don't even know if I'm, but
no,
I mean,
and
I'm not saying like her, well, the lie detector did say her dad did not do any of those things to her, but I don't, like you said, there's a little bit of sliver of truth weaved into every story. So
I feel like
maybe he made her feel uncomfortable at one point in her life, or maybe he touched her inappropriately one time. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not even convinced that he did anything to her or the brother. I don't know.
Yeah, I
that's
honestly
what
don't believe they
happens
do,
when
but
you unfortunately have a reputation for not telling the truth that much, that when you tell a story like this, unfortunately people aren't going to believe you.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I hope that her dad didn't do anything to her, and that's just something you don't mess around with stuff like that. And
yeah,
I don't know. I'm curious to see and hear people's feelings on this, because like I said, there's no devil's advocate on this episode like there was with the Scott and Lacey Peterson one, because unfortunately I just feel like she's guilty.
Yeah, and
she did it.
It's funny that you say that, because when I first started watching it, because you told me to watch the show, I turned it on because I didn't know anything. I just knew that she was found not guilty. Didn't know the reasons behind it. Didn't watch the trial or anything like that. But when I started watching it, like I said, I started feeling sorry for her at first, and I started thinking, "Oh my goodness, am I going to sway towards her side? What's happening here?" But
and I'm glad that you sat down and watched it, because I know most of the time you just listen while you do things. You don't sit down and look at the TV.
And a lot of times I don't. I actually technically wasn't at first. That's why I was kind of like, oh my goodness, what's happening here? Because I work on a puzzle while I'm watching TV, so I'm all puzzling, and then but I started like looking up, because I'm like, wait a second, oh, that's so sad. But then I look up and I'm like, but is it really sad?
Yeah,
I'm not seeing that.
It's not convincing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it,
Yeah.
It's just, so.
But if you guys haven't watched the episode on Peacock, and the other one I think is on A&E.
Yes.
Go watch those.
You can rent it on Amazon if you don't have A&E for $2.99. Prime member. I don't know if it's different for a regular member, but
yeah, go watch those. I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts and their take on it.
And if you think
just about her even coming out and talking, because I was shocked that she was even willing to give an interview.
I wasn't. When I looked up how much did she get paid, I was like, oh, that's why she came out. Oh, okay.
But she's got a lot of people that hate her. But
I think she's so, I don't know, I would say maybe narcissistic. I don't even know how to say
maybe she thinks all these people are going to believe her too.
I think that. I think she thinks she's waited 10 years. It's been long enough. People forget. And if I'm good with my story and my acting, people are going to be on my side.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I almost was.
I can win them over with my tears.
Well, especially since if you didn't follow it closely before and you just kind of heard about it.
Yeah.
And you didn't know the facts. But I kind of watched a little bit of another podcast that was talking about it, because there was, a guy on there saying, no, she was found innocent for a reason, because, and the lady's like, no, I saw the whole trial. She should have been found guilty. I still think she's guilty. And the guy's saying, well, you weren't there in the room. It's different when you're in the room. And she goes, yeah, because I know, she goes, I'm a lawyer as well. And I know how lawyers manipulate the truth to make you believe that what you're listening to is the truth. And she goes, that's what a really good defense lawyer does. Yeah. She goes, but I know the tricks. I know it. And she's guilty. And so I don't think she's convinced a lot of people, but, but there's, but if you believe it, then, please tell us your opinion. Yeah.
And no judgment.
No, of course not.
No judgment at all.
I would actually know why. Yeah. What's the reason? Like, convince me. Like,
Yeah, I would like to know, what everybody thinks and why. Yeah. Especially if you think that she's innocent and didn't do it, or somebody else
or
did
who
it.
did.
Or who did it.
Yeah, why?
What's your theory?
Yeah. But please don't regurgitate her story, because we know she's a liar. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. Right. If you think it's because of that, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
So if you believed her 100%, you can say that too. I absolutely thought she was telling the truth. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah, and that's fine too, because everybody watches things and gets different things from it. Yeah. So by all means, if you're seeing something or you read body language different than we do, then,
and if you do, please read an article called Eyes for Lies, Deception and Credibility by the Deception and Credibility expert. He actually breaks down the Caylee Anthony documentary on her body language.
Okay. Oh, yeah. What does he say?
Oh, she's lying.
Oh, okay.
So no, absolutely.
He's on our side then.
Yeah, it's funny because when I was actually reading him, I was actually like, oh my gosh, that's what I was feeling. Like, I didn't know how to put it into words, but he helped me better to put it into words. But it was the same thing. Like, on one of them, her facial expressions are revealing that she feels completely different to the words she's speaking. It actually says Caylee feels disgusted that she is responsible to answer questions about her daughter's death. You know how she says, I feel I have to honor her? Yeah. She goes, but you actually see that she's like disgusted to even have to answer this and be accountable for it. Yeah. And it's really funny how, not funny, it's really interesting how he breaks it down. I'm not a body language expert. Yeah. But when I was watching it, I couldn't put it into words, but I can see like, oh my gosh, why is it not matching?
And it was definitely one-sided. Mm-hmm. It was written to make you
100%
believe her, because there was a lot of things in there that I feel didn't need to be. I didn't need to see her hiking and picking flowers, and we don't need to talk about her cover-up tattoo. I don't need to talk about that. Sit her in a chair and ask her questions. Yeah. Just start firing at her.
Just the facts, ma'am. And then
I don't care what you do. I don't need to see you cry over a picture and look through your photo book, and I don't need none of that shit.
And they were kind of like retrying the whole case, because they were kind of putting the prosecution on the defensive again about like, their testimony, the things they brought to the table, the evidence they brought, the chloroform in the back of the trunk. They broke it down. So you need to really watch that on what they say about it. Right. And how they felt they won the case. But that's what I don't like about expert witnesses in trials, because you can hire an expert witness for the prosecution. They'll say something completely different. But to me, if they're expert witnesses, they should have the same agreement.
Absolutely.
It should come to the same conclusion.
Yeah. Especially on something like this.
Yeah. It should be fact.
It should, exactly.
Just the facts. Yep. And so that's where I have a hard time with things like that too.
Yeah, no. It's I don't know. Yeah. But we would love to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
So please chime in, comment below.
Thanks for another week with us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you for all of your comments. Thank you to all the new subscribers.
Always.
Yes.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe. It's free.
Like,
comment. Even if you don't like us, just subscribe. I mean, what the heck? It's free. No.
Yeah. We're funny sometimes. You get to hear us bitch and complain about getting old, and
if you don't like this episode, there'll be another one.
There'll be another one that you might like. Yeah.
Check us out.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, have a great week.
Yes.
Be safe out there. A lot of crazies. So
it's a crazy world we live in.
It is. Yeah. Sad and crazy.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. And we'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
Bye.